How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at all of the new rewards that are coming with the Season 7, the Season of the Conquerors Season Pass, as well as going over how you can quickly level up your pass so that you can get your hands on those juicy new artifacts as soon as possible. But first, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel. It helps out massively. Now, let's get into it. The Season of the Conquerors is here, and with it comes new seasonal worlds, and the return of the fan favorite Season Pass. Before we take a look at the rewards I think are worth going for this season, let's quickly start off with how the Season Pass works in New World, as some of you may be new to the game. Feel free to skip ahead using the timestamps if you're already familiar with the system. Every couple of months in New World, we get another one of these passes with a different theme representing the season, and the rewards usually follow said theme. This time out is the Season of the Conquerors. Throughout a season, doing activities across the Isle of Aeternum will grant you XP that will level this pass, and each level you get, you're rewarded with a unique item. There's a total of 100 levels, so 100 rewards if you're on the free version of the Season Pass. Or, you can pay some money to purchase the premium version of this pass for even more limited time only rewards, bringing it up to 200 rewards in total. I'll go over a bit more how to level your Season Pass up later on in the video, but first, let's look at what new rewards you can expect this time out from both versions of the pass, and then I'll let you know if the premium pass is worth it this time out or not, in my opinion. For starters, we have levels 1 to 10. Nothing too spectacular here, especially for the free pass, but for the premium version, the 3000 coins and transmog token is not bad. The skins aren't anything I'd want though. Then, we have levels 11 to 20. The items start to get a bit better here, with the Marks of Fortune and the Ice Gauntlet artifact standing out in particular. You can get 500 Marks of Fortune on the free pass, along with the Otzi artifact, which are really worth grabbing. If you had the premium pass, you get an additional 1000 marks, but the rest isn't anything that interests me. Maybe some of you shield users out there would want that shield skin though. Next up is levels 21 to 30. Nothing amazing here. Some items you can sell on for a bit of cash, 500 coins, and expedition chests are always nice to get that materia to craft the expedition items to unlock the transmog options. You can also pick up a season XP booster at level 26 if you don't have one already and wanted to use one to grind out your levels faster. This will help out a ton in the method I'll go over later on in this video. The premium track follows the same theme, but just in slightly higher amounts, plus you can get another transmog token. Levels 31 to 40 has some pretty decent items, with 500 more Marks of Fortune and a transmog token on the free pass, which is great for those players who don't want to spend money on the game, but want to switch up their transmog. The premium version will give you an additional 1000 marks, plus the first unique emote of the pass in the Preen Queen emote. Then you've got 41 to 50, which isn't too amazing, but 500 more coins and a territory standing booster is always appreciated. Plus you can get yourself a helmet skin and the Nomadic Stalker helm on the free pass. It's not a look I'd personally use, but maybe some of you will like it. There's also some more materia. For the premium version, it's another 3000 coins, with a transmog token and a chromatic seal, which is always useful and will save you some money in the long run. You can also find yourself getting a musket skin, but again, it doesn't look too spectacular in my opinion. Levels 51 to 60 brings another transmog token to the free-to-play players, along with some Marks of Fortune, 50 dark matter, and some more materia, which is a solid return. The premium version will increase those numbers up, plus give you a couple more skins, with the Reclaimed Duty Gloves skin looking pretty decent. Next is levels 61 to 70, and these levels will bring free-to-play players a couple of decent skins in the Shaman of Decay helm skin, which I could see some pretty cool Witch Doctor transmogs being made out of, and the Azoth Scepter skin. Plus, the weapon XP booster is always nice if you haven't maxed out all of the weapons yet on your character. The premium version will give you a boot skin that looks like it'll pair well with the mask, as well as another unique emote in the Brimstone Lizard Run emote, which sounds like it could be a pretty funny emote to pull out at events. From levels 70 to 80, you get some solid rewards as a free player. You'll get some more dark matter, Marks of Fortune, materia, and even the life staff Heseda. The premium track follows the same trend, with more of the previously mentioned stuff, plus another weapon XP token, a pretty cool bow and leg skin to go with the previous premium skins, and a jewelry matrix that you could sell on for a good chunk of cash in your server. Levels 81 to 90 is pretty underwhelming to be honest, for being towards the end of the pass, but you could pick up a logging axe skin with some more materia and a new title in the Warbringer title. The premium version is similarly underwhelming, with a transmog token and admittedly a pretty epic looking chest skin in the Reclaimed Heart chest skin. I could for sure see some pretty cool transmogs being made with that skin. And finally, we have the big one, levels 91 to 100. These really deliver, as they should, with the free version giving you more dark matter, more Marks of Fortune, and the transmog token, a chromatic seal, an armor matrix, and a pretty nifty looking camp skin. All of this stuff is pretty great stuff to have on the account to be honest. The premium track follows suit, with another chromatic seal, a really cool helmet skin to finish off the set, even more Marks of Fortune, a ton of dark matter, an Azoth inductor, a weapon matrix, and a pretty cool looking spear skin. For sure, these last 10 levels will net you a ton of gold, no matter if you're premium or not. But that leaves the big question of, do I think it's worth getting the premium pass or not? And sadly, I would have to say no. The emotes and some of the other stuff are pretty cool, but it's not really worth it overall in my opinion. If they were to add more marks of fortune, that would equate to the same amount as if I were to just buy them from the store directly, then I'd say it's worth it for sure, especially if you were eventually going to get them anyways. But right now, I'd rather just have marks of fortune for future limited time store items. I bought the first season pass, but since then, I've not purchased any. I think if they added a bit more, they would see more people interested in going premium, but as things stand, I'd advise against it. Okay, so now that we know a bit more about the season pass and what to look out for from this season's version, let's go over how you can level up your pass as quickly as possible so you can start getting some of those awesome rewards. Of course, with every season, there's the journey missions, which will give you some easy XP and some more bonus items as well, but they're not the most efficient way to level up. For starters, I would go through and knock out any of the easy ones that don't take much of your time up to get your initial couple of season pass levels. From there, I would move away from the journey missions into the method I'm about to go over, as it's a lot more efficient. I do however recommend to always get at least enough missions done on each level of the journey paths to unlock the bonus item, as some of them can net you some nice profits, especially the later level ones. Or, if any of the unique season titles from over in the challenges section interests you, you can grind those out as well. And every season there's also a housing trophy you can unlock that when placed in your house, you'll get bonus season pass XP. So if you have it, make sure to throw it up in your house. But I wouldn't go out of my way to farm that down as soon as possible, because the numbers don't really make that much of a difference. I would just grind out the method I'm about to go over, and if you eventually passively complete enough journey missions to unlock the trophy, just grab it and throw it in one of your houses. Before I get into the grinding method though, I just want to state that you don't have to do this. By playing the game passively, and just knocking off your stamps as you're going about doing other things in the world, while getting a few journey missions done as well, by the end of the season, you'll still be able to get all of the free rewards no problem. Maybe if you're a bit short on the levels, and the season is almost over, you can do the grind to get those last few levels, but it's by no means a necessity. That being said, some people want to get their hands on those new artifacts as soon as possible, and for those people, I put this video together. So let's get into it, and go over the method I like to use to grind out those season pass levels fast, so I can get those new artifacts ASAP. Basically, you're going to be sitting in a good grinding spot, and you're going to be aiming for specific activities to appear on your activity card that can be done quickly and easily in that area. Then, you will re-roll your options once you've completed what you can to try and get more of the same missions to eventually complete your card as quickly as possible before repeating the process over again, getting XP at amazing rates. When it comes to what activities you want to look out for, there's a few really good options to look for that pretty much anyone can get done easily, and a few other options I'll mention as well after that will work for some, but not for others. The universal, easy ones to look out for are the following: salvage 5 tier 5 items, play 2 songs, kill 2 named enemies, heal 5000 damage, kill 10 kinds of a specific mob type, and kill 10 enemies with a certain weapon type. The last 4 activities can often be done together, and if you do so, you can be knocking off multiple stamps at once, which will really speed up your XP rates. I'll go over a couple of decent options that can be done as well, depending on what resources you have an abundance of, in a little bit. But first, let's look at what I like to do and how I go about this grind. For starters, when preparing to head out to your grind spot, you want to have a good amount of tier 5 items on you to knock out the salvage items activity. For most people that play the game, you might already have an abundance of these items. I know I do, but if you salvage them before you knew you were going to need them for this, you can always go about getting a bunch of them easily in a variety of ways. For starters, you can just buy them on the trading post. Use the search filters to make this process easier, and in the armor or weapons section, search for gear within the 0 to 5 gold coins range, and then sort your results by tier, and you'll have all the tier 5 versions showing for you at the top. You can then buy however much you need, and choose what price you feel comfortable spending on these items. Do keep in mind though, when salvaging the gear, you'll get back 3 coins, so you may be spending less than you think you are. But if you want to minimize expenses, you can always just go out and grind a bit for gear. Joining chest runs is a great way to get an abundance of tier 5 gear, or queuing up for level 60 plus expeditions is another easy, fast way to get them. Plus you'll be making some gold on the side as well by doing these activities. After you have your tier 5 gear ready, you want to grab one of every weapon so you can knock out the kill missions as quickly as you can. It doesn't matter how bad these weapons are, because you can just throw them on as your secondary weapon, using your main weapon to get the kills, and you'll still be getting credit for the stamp even if you don't do any damage with your secondary weapon. Maybe lock these weapons though, so you don't accidentally salvage them when doing a salvage stamp. And finally, you're going to want to stock up on vials of suspended Azoth, so you can be re-rolling your activities whenever you need to. These can be bought off the trading post, but you might already have a good amount of them on your account, as you get given them quite frequently when playing the game, especially from the season pass rewards. With all that in your inventory, you're good to go. The options of places where you can grind efficiently on Aeternum is endless, but if you don't want to look for a spot, you can just use the spot I use, and that's over here at the Emerald Temple. It's really easy to get to. Simply teleport into the excavated shrine in Windsward, and you're right there. This area is swarming with low-level, easy-to-kill mobs of different mob types, and even a couple of named ones too, to help out with that stamp. Plus, the area also usually has a decent amount of people over here just grinding, especially when new season passes come out. So if you get a group going, your XP rates are just going to skyrocket, because kill credit is shared. So you could be over on one side of the temple, getting kill credit for what your group mates are doing on the other side. But here's how I go about my grinding here. When you first get here, make sure to pop a season XP booster augment. If you've done any of the previous season passes before, you should have a ton of these. If not, don't worry about it, you'll still get good XP rates. Plus you can even get one eventually from the free season pass rewards. But that'll give you 100% passive season XP generation for 2 hours, which will help out a ton. Once that's popped, check out your activity card and look for any of the previously mentioned tasks. Go through and knock them off one by one, trying to do multiple ones at once whenever possible, until you have done all you can from the list. So if you had to salvage 5 tier 5 items, go on over to your inventory and salvage them. That's a quick and easy one to knock off. If you had any of the kill with a certain weapon type, throw that weapon on as a secondary weapon and get those kills as quickly as you can. Making your primary weapon a ranged weapon will significantly speed up these tasks, as you can kill mobs from far away, getting the kills quicker. If you get to kill 2 named enemies, there's 2 easy bosses in this area, as seen on screen, that you can knock out quickly to get the task done fast. Try to pair this with a kill with certain weapons task if possible. If you get heal damage, I like to throw on a Void Gauntlet and a Life Staff, then hold block with the Void Gauntlet to drain my health, before switching to my Life Staff, and using a couple of self-healing abilities on myself to knock that one out quickly. If you get kill 10 of a mob of a specific type, make sure it's a type you can do in your grind area. So if you're using this spot, there's beasts and ancients around. Hopefully you'll get this task with the kills with weapon type one as well, to get multiple ones done at the same time. But if not, it's no biggie, since these kills go by so fast. Ancients, you'll find a ton of around here, but if you get kill beasts, there's also a ton of rabbits and lynx all over the place, as seen on screen, that you can kill to knock that one out as well. A good chunk of them kind of hover around the outer walls of this area. And finally, if you get to play 2 songs, don't worry, you don't actually have to play the songs well to get this done. I use this as a quick AFK break time. Just start a song and let it play out. Even if you miss every note, you'll still get credit. Do this twice, and you're good to go. Choose the shortest song you can, so for me, it's currently Yeah, at 31 seconds. So take that minute of AFK time to get some water or something, and then jump back into the grinding. If you have no more options that you can do from the activity list, simply hit reroll activities at the bottom and get a new set of options. Make sure to spend your stamps before doing this though, so you don't lose them. The first reroll for each card will be free, but afterwards it'll take Azoth to reroll, with each time getting more and more costly. But don't worry, that's why you have the vials of Azoth water on you. Plus, it should only take you a couple of rerolls to finish a card if you go about things in the right way, a lot of the time not even requiring any Azoth to be spent. And speaking of going about things in the right way, let's talk about wild stamps. These guys will be your best friends during this grind, and if you use them well, you can stand to save a ton of time on Azoth. Basically, they are stamps that you can fill in any slot on the card without having to do an activity. So let's look at this card for example. I have a good amount of tasks done, and although it may look like I don't have enough stamps done to complete the card, I can utilize my wild stamps to complete this card right now, as you'll see. There's a few things to consider first here when choosing what stamps to place. For starters, don't unlock the shield option, and I'll explain why. Every straight or diagonal row you complete, so 4 stamps in a row of, you'll be given a free wild stamp. Since I already have 3 wild stamps, if I went for the shield, sure the row would be completed, but I would not get my free stamp. Instead, use one of your wild stamps up on anything else that's not completing a row, and then you can grab the shield, getting that free stamp. Basically, playing around with this system and making smart moves will allow you to get cards done with very few rerolls, and way less activities done than you would expect to need to do. So as you saw, I got that card done without the need to go out and do more activities, and I could have also done it a lot earlier, but I just left it a bit later for the purposes of this video. Another quick pro tip is that once a day, when you reroll your activities, you'll get a free wild stamp. So if it's your first reroll of the day, make sure you don't have 3 wild stamps when you do so, or it'll just be a waste of a stamp. But now that we know how to utilize your wild stamps, let's quickly go over a few other really easy activities you could also implement into this method if you wanted to, if they suit you, before we end the video. These will be able to be done really easily while staying on the grind, and not having to teleport all over the place. So nothing like closed miner breaches, because although they are easy and fast, you need to locate, teleport, and then go there to knock that one stamp out. It will be faster to just stay in the area and re-roll your activities at that point. Or, if you're really low on gold and Azoth, you could even just complete your activity card early without fully completing it for some new free activities. You won't get as much XP as you would for completing the full card, but it could still save you some time overall. You can re-roll an activity at any point as long as you have at least 4 stamps on it already. Now, Onto the other good activities. For starters, there's the Earn Azel's Salt activity. You'll be given tons of these vials of Azel's Salt while playing New World, especially on the free version rewards of the Season Pass. I like to save these up, and whenever I get one of these activities, I simply pop the potion for a free easy stamp. The same goes for the Crafted Gypsum Orb activity. If you have a ton of gypsum saved up, maybe don't craft them into orbs all at once, and instead, save them up for when you get this activity stamp. Then, make your inner recall to a place close to a gypsum kiln. I like to use Great Cleave, and whenever it pops up, teleport to Inn, make an orb real quick, then teleport back into the grind location with another stamp knocked off the card. There's also the Gather 500 Resources activity, which can be done with basically anything around here. Trees, bushes, whatever. It's really easy, but I do find it takes a bit longer than the other activities, so I tend to skip this one. And finally, there's the Participate in a Duel activity. This one I would only recommend if you're in a group. If so, just make an agreement with your group mates that whenever one of you gets this, to get it done. Then, call it out when you get to the nearest group member, and do a quick duel for the free stamp. If you're running solo though, just skip it. But that covers everything you need to know about season passes in New World. You now know what they are, how to level them up fast to get your rewards, and which of the rewards this time around I think are of value. But let me know your favorite spots to grind out your passes, and some activities I might have missed that I could add into my grind. Also, if the video was any help, please consider giving it a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps out massively. But until next time, have a good one. Thanks for watching another video, and a massive shout out to all the channel members and patrons seen on screen now. Links on how to become one in the video description. If you'd like to follow me on a cinematic lore journey to the main story quest of New World, click on the playlist to the left. Or, if you'd like to learn how to get all the new artifacts that came out with this season, click on the video to the right.